Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm back on for the Power Hour today. I made my nut earlier today with Coinbase. And so what I'm going to do today is please read this disclaimer because I am not a financial advisor. I am on with 10 at this point, but they're growing the $1 Million Margin Club that have and a couple that aren't officially in the club, that they're sort of being mentored by some of the other club members, but they're so we're doing just 300 shares. So if you have made the PDT rule, that means you have 25,000 in your account, and that means if it's you're under margin, if you're under, that's for the PDT. So you're under margin, so you can day trade. So that means you could afford 300 shares of this. So this is based for all those people that aren't, having $1 million to trade, but can trade with $100,000 with margin, so 25,000 in their account. Hopefully you've read this. So today I marked out Meta. There's a lot of exciting news on the way things are changing for the RV strategy. So this is Day Trading for Success, the home of the $1 Million Margin Club, and I am the professor, and I will be showing you kind of how we day trade. So there's a bunch of different strategies we use. Today I've got the RV strategy set up. So earlier today I don't know what I made. I think I made like $6,000. So it was pretty good. I do have a helper with me today that came in. It was nice. So, and I will be calling the ball for the most part for everybody trading, although they all make their own choices. So everything on the channel here is free, including all these layouts. You can go find the perfect 1 minute, 5 minute, how to build them. You can find all the custom scripts. They say DTS, and you can download them on your Thinkorswim. Everything here is Thinkorswim. And then all we're dedicated to doing, our mission statement is to try to make day trading a little easier. So maybe that 95% failure rate, it gets cut way, way down, and more people can make a living. $100 a day, $200 a day, $300 a day, life-changing numbers, maybe not having to work so hard, or maybe even when you get up there, 300, 400, 500 a day, you quit your day job and you can live a little bit more relaxed life, depending on your quality of living. Of course, for most people, it's never enough. But so we're just going to, so what you see on these lines here, this is a range-bound strategy, the RV strategy. There's tons of videos about it, about exactly what it is. If you want to just look on the channel and type in RV strategy, there's tons of live trading in the archives. We are working on a bunch of things to put out in the book about this strategy that's going to have step-by-step how you scalp, because it is a scalping strategy, and how you use these lines. So hang on just a second here, guys. So is everybody ready to go? I'm going to actually go long here. Let's see this dips any more here. I'm going to pick that up on a long. So now this is where I would get out if it drops below 64 here. So I'm trying to get ahead of the, well, my first trade isn't going well, guys. So let's just, if it drops below 1364, is it going to drop below it? It's right at it. So these are support and resistance lines that I've drawn that are based on where the stock has turned around. Oh, it hit it for just a split second, but it didn't hit it on the ask. So yeah, I'm holding. I'm going to hold. So it's going to be hard to lose much money with this lower share size, but that's the idea, right? So you can't. It's much safer when you have a lower share size. And Meta isn't making huge moves today, so this is a pretty safe large cap stock, over a $25 billion market cap, $1 billion float, which is hard to find many that are over the market cap that has less floats than $1 billion. But the idea is a stock that is pretty steady in its movement, but they're also very expensive large caps. So you can't trade a lot of shares, but you can trade enough to definitely make a living. I know some of the people on today have been trading Meta all day. They called it to my attention and said it's got some good action. So I came on in here. They came on over with me, and here we are. Almost everybody did anyway in the $1 Million Margin Club. So, the $1 Million Margin Club, there are actually some millionaires. It's like big millionaires, but most of them are just hardworking people that have managed to save $25,000. $250,000, whether they get it from their house or whatever, however they got it, and then they can margin up to $1 million. So a lot of times you will see us trading These large caps, much larger share size, 1,000, 2,000 shares, they get filled easy because of the high float and the high cap, because Thinkorswim does really good on the large cap, as a market maker, filling them. And so we really don't have a problem with the larger cap, other than you can lose money faster, obviously. So you got to be careful. But this strategy works with any share size. That's the whole idea. So don't expect to see a lot of big. Here's what my position is: 313.85 cents. That's what I'm holding 300 shares at. And you've seen this move up and down. This is how much I'm making on that right now. If I were to sell it, it'd be $3, although it probably would slip and I'd be in the negative. No, probably not. Not with 300 shares. Yeah. So anyway, this is the level 2, the book that shows all the people that are waiting. You remember, you have to multiply these numbers by 100, and roughly only 50% of who's out there waiting to get picked up is on here, because all the bigger people hide. The big numbers are all hidden, and you're allowed to do that. Anybody's allowed to hide their orders. You can do that. I have, like I said, a lot of custom scripts you can get for free on this channel too. We're not selling any courses here. I do recommend you get our logbook, which I think is now $12.99. It's not much, or any logbook. Okay, it doesn't have to be ours. And log, if you want to use this strategy or any other strategy, keep track of how you're doing, your metrics, keep track of your thought process. What were you thinking when it went wrong or when it went right, or what's going on here. So how's everybody? Everybody is long, right? Okay, yeah, we're all long. So this is going to be slow. It's going to be a bit of a waiting game with a stock that moves this slow. It's not going to be as exciting. Like I said, I already made my nut for the day. I try to make at least 5. Lately, I've been averaging well over 10, which is great, by combining the 2 days. So I have no problem sharing my time to help people learn. That's what we're doing right now today. So I'm trying to think of what I haven't mentioned. Lots of videos on there about how to speed up your Thinkorswim, how to speed up your computer, for that matter, using any platform, and what computers do I use, and how to write support and resistance lines, how to do everything with the RV strategy. Many, many videos here about that. So guys, we're probably going to hold 1385. So I'm going to look for this, but it stopped a couple times before, right at the 50 cents. So let's keep that in mind. I'll go ahead and put I went ahead and locked all these so they just go straight across, different than what you guys seen a little bit. But the reason why, if you've been following along with the RV strategy, okay, so let's just get ready here. So how's everybody doing up there? Is it going to break through that 50 cents there? It did. It broke through it. So it broke through for a split second. So we have to get ready to turn around. You'll see me reverse to try not to lose this money if it's going to start to, go backwards here. So let's see what happens here. Sure, not giving me a clear signal. I should probably just sell rather than reverse and assess what we're doing here. Okay, one more dip and I'm getting out of this. Okay, I'm going to sell right there. Just keep a close eye. Went right back up to 40. I'm out at the moment, guys. If it can hold over 314.50, I'll get back in. We're looking for it to hold over 314.50 or break that line, which is 57. Okay, it did. All right, so I'm getting in. I got in at 56. That's not bad. So I'm right below that line. I already banked that money, so I feel better about it. Now let's see if this move continues. So we have another ceiling to get through here. So I've tapped it and then pulled back, almost like it gives them a shock, right? And taps it. So I didn't feel comfortable to reverse there because everything here is so weak right now. That's pretty low volume compared to what we're used to seeing me trade. So I really recommend that you guys watch those live archive videos. So right now we're just going to keep riding this up, guys. Everybody should be right around $200. Yep. And yep. Yeah. 240 up there. That's good. That's about, now I am too. Okay, I see. So we're all doing about the same because they're all following, although they can make their own. Oops, well, that's not good. Oh boy. Now this is pretty sensitively set up, so you will see spikes that aren't really real there. As far as the price action didn't really happen. So the next possible spot is on the even dollar. I mean, look, it could turn anywhere around, but what we're looking for is maybe 315 even. So I'll put a line right there. Now these other lines are that I've marked out already. When I have the time, I'll say open session pivot, and it's OS pivot, which means, or pre-market pivot. And that means that the stock turned around multiple times prior to this day. So I mark these lines because for whatever reason, now there's people that are either holding or, that's the plot where they're going to buy and sell again in that same area. So, you want to at least take note of those to help you scalp. So this is a range-bound scalping strategy, and it's all based on support and resistance lines that create channels. And now we're dividing those channels, guys. I was starting to tell you that has been following along, that if you're excited, we're dividing those into small, medium, and large, or maybe called micro, medium, or average and large. They're still working on the names right now. But so the width of these determines what we've been finding out, how the action is. Like, for instance, if it was to break through here, it might have some wicks that tap up here because this is a mini channel, right? Let's see, is that a mini channel? Yeah, it's only 11, not even 11 cents, just about 11 cents. So that's definitely a small channel. It has to be over 26 cents to be an average channel. So what does a small channel really mean? You can't respect it to go, it's really what this channel would be a better respected all the way up and down. So here you might just get some wicks, you might get a turnaround, and that's why you can ride it through. But as it gets to the top of this, be more prepared to, don't reverse sell, and then think about shorting if it breaks back through here. So that's what you would do, So look at this, I'm talking, but look what's happening. It's great. So now can it break this VWAP? So if it breaks that, then more people are trading. Okay, so there it goes. As I talk, as it breaks that. So now it has another ceiling to break through. Is it going to break that? And we'll see if it goes up. Now, this is the top of the ATR up here. So what we do every day is we mark the ATR. And I've got a lot of videos about it. I don't want to take my eye off the screen right now to show you, but I can show you maybe when I am not. I'm actually probably won't be able to take my eye off the screen. The way this stock is moving and everybody's kind of looking to me to call the ball. I don't want to go away from the screen unless I'm out of a position. But basically, you take the close of the day before, and whatever the average true range is. What an average true range is how many dollars does that stock move over a 14-day period on average, up and down. So I think that Meta was $7 or overall. So when you figure out what it is by looking at the close of the day before, and then you take the average range, you cut it in half, and you add half of it to the close to get the ATR high, and half of it to the close to get the ATR low. Wow. So guys, I don't know how much longer I'm going to think about this position. I mean, this is some good money to bank for only 300 shares. So what's the chat doing? What are those guys saying? I should have shorted up there. Let me see. I'm going to reverse if it keeps having trouble breaking through this. Let's see. No, not yet. So yeah, I'm going to look at this number to call whether, and I will not reverse if this is dropping. I'm not going to reverse if this is dropping. But if it's slowing down as it goes, that was painful. So yeah, so we got to call this. We got to figure out what this is here. It's definitely tapped and slowed down and turned around. But did it really turn around? So I will just sell and reassess unless it does something like that. Now this is where you're going to see me more reverse. I would reverse up at maybe 315.50-ish range. because you're hitting a Fibonacci and the ATR high. So one more bounce up and I'm probably going to reverse, guys. So prepare. It's slowing down. That's a spam. Sorry. Of course, at the worst possible time. Jeez. Did it go up? Sorry about that. I thought I had that off. I'm going to reverse right there and then make sure my volume's off. I ended up just tapping that. I'm getting spams from like the same area code like crazy. So what happens? Is it going to break that? If it's going to break this, then we've got to get out of this quick. So you cover to get out. Now, if you reversed with me, everybody should be able to short this stock. Yep. Okay. Is anybody not on their platform able to short? Most people are on Thinkorswim. So some platforms don't offer shorting for everything, but on a stock like this, it should be no problem. So now we're in a short position. We're betting the stock to go down if you're a beginner. And the way to get out is you buy the stock back to get out of it. So now we're just waiting for it to go down. It's definitely keeping a strong keeping a strong momentum to go up here. This is going to be a very short, so to speak. I'm not going to hold short for very long here. It gets down here. Get ready to reverse again down by near 315.12. Even 315.25 might be a spot on the 20. You know, those kinds of numbers, 25, 50, 75, or 50 cents. Wow, is that going to drop below that? It is on the bid. I'm going to take that spread. What did I get it at? 21. So I did reverse long again on the spread. So now I could have gotten it better. So the market maker's job is to give you the center between these two, the best that it can. So it did break through that. Now that we had the 9 and the VWAP for support, as well as this floor that it slapped against to push it off like a spring. So how did you guys do there? Were you able to pick up on that as I was talking about it? It looks like we've got a consolidation here. We've got some tiny channels here. So we have to watch this close for tiny channels. So this ATR, there's a reason the ATR is marked. Split the average true range. It respects it on a regular basis. When it breaks through it, we have a new type of strategy. Usually when it breaks the 8, this is all usually nothing's for sure, right? This is just experience of a pretty big brain trust of the $1 Million Margin Club marking these things out. So usually, and I think you've seen on some of my videos, if it breaks the ATR, it'll kind of go up a ways and then come back and retest. And then it decides, is it going to break back into our range-bound trading in between the high and the low? See, here's a high and a low. There's the low down here. Right now, it's hitting another ceiling. Wow. I'm going to reverse there, guys. I reversed. That's just an anticipation of it losing its way. It could be a mistake, but I also banked my money. So it was 100 and something bucks up. So unless this gets well over 100, I haven't made a mistake by reversing that. So it had to break through both of those, which it did. Now, it may go all the way up to this Fibonacci. This is just experience of letting you know I think it's going to pull back. Not a lot. I don't think it's going to pull back a lot. I'm trying to make little scalps in here. You know, that's why I get the big bucks, right? So, and not a lot to lose here. So how are we doing? Okay, some of you are still long. I understand. That's cool. You know, you're still in a good position. You know, I'm just trying to actually augment it and get even a little bit better here. So. Yeah, and now it's telling me I made a mistake. So I'm going to look to see if I can catch a dip and then reverse in green. There I'm even money, depending on where the market maker gives me. I think I made a mistake. It is going to go above the ATR here. Definitely shows signs of that. And I want to get a less of a loss. So I'm just going to try to take that. So I reversed. I reversed and it didn't go red on me when I reversed. So I am going long again now. So now it's probably when it's going to bail out. It's using the ATR now as support. Before it had to break through it. So now I'm long again. I made a mistake on that short. I just ended up with even money, which is fine. And if you just stayed long, then you're probably ahead of me now, which is good thinking. So I just tried to get something out of nothing, which was one of my nicknames for a while. I like the professor way better. I mean, that's what scalping is, though. You're just trying to carve little moves out, you know. Wow, it definitely looks like it's going to go down to me. I'm going to reverse again. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to reverse again. So I could have made a mistake, but I'm reversing again. I did manage to carve a little bit of money out there. I'll be curious to see if you stayed long. I hope some of you are just going to stay long the whole time to see if you did better, you know. This is how you get $25, $50, you know. I'm just going to play it like a roulette in here. Now it's got the ATR for support again. I'm going to hit that support and hope that it comes right back up again. So I broke over 800. So I am in the lead now because of that. So that's good. I want to win. I want everybody to do good. But so I have a long position now. She's telling you. So I'm at 315.55. And this is scalping, guys. So there's a lot of videos on this if you're a viewer here and not in the sometimes it's hard to tell who I'm talking to here, but if I'm talking to the people on Zoom or if I'm talking to you guys, but maybe just both. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I do have one more thing I have to work on this afternoon. So I'm just adding a little bit to the day. So now just imagine if this is what you came on and you traded for a half hour and you had $800. You know what I mean? Now add that times a week and then add that times a month. You know, just imagine that, what you can make, you know. So I know you guys see me do the big numbers, but I mean, these add up to big numbers. You know, just a couple of days of that, you got a good paycheck, right? So this kind of trading is pretty safe. Of course, the skill is in getting it out the right time. I know some people are struggling, and that's why we're going to just keep at it. We're going to keep at it until we get this thing tweaked. And when the book comes out, I worked on a whole bunch of things today, and between writing contracts, I was showing, you know, they were giving me charts that had consolidated areas, and I was showing where to get in, when to get out, when to get in, when to get out, when the wick was up, when to get out, and why I was doing it, So I'm just drawing more and more and more of those for the editors of the book to put in, so you have a whole bunch of them. I think that's going to help you. In explaining that, I learned myself and talked with the other people about the small, average, or small, medium, and large channels and how they're traded a little bit differently. And you've probably seen me do it. If it's a big, wide channel, I'm going to wait for the whole move. But then in the middle, a lot of times, there's like micro moves. There's like little moves. And so if you shorten those channels, those little micro moves are traded differently than the big ones. And I know that sounds complicated, but if you've been watching, it might be the key to where I'm getting in and getting out. It might be what I needed to teach you that I haven't been. Because the level 2 is, unless you get something really stacking up at the right time, which is mostly for real high momentum stocks on these large caps, the level 2s, it's just not as... it just isn't used that much. I got to tell you, I'm used to keeping it up for those other strategies that I use, you know, in the beginning with the dip and rip and rip and dip. That one is very helpful. Any momentum where you buy high and sell higher, the level 2 is helpful. In this kind of stuff, when I'm trying to explain to you about the level 2, and I want to know how to read, not all, but a lot of, I need to know, is that how you decided? No, you know what? As I go back and look and try to explain, 9 times out of 10, it is not the level 2 that is helping me decide. It is not. And I wanted it to be, because, you know, I think you should know the level 2 for other type of trading. But for this, let's count it as a good check mark that you don't actually need to know how to be really good at the level 2, because it doesn't affect large cap consolidated trading. Look at how it's trusting. Look at how it's consolidating here, guys. When you can start to depend on this, right, it is much easier to be a trader. If you can have the right tools, you make the right money in your account, so you can become a day trader, or you have a couple thousand in an overseas account and you can margin 6 times, or offshore account, then you can still you don't have to do 300 shares. You could do 25 shares and then carve out $150 or something, or $100, and then multiply it by 5, and then maybe, have that new car payment or whatever. God, car payments are more than that now, aren't they? It depends on the car, right? Look at this, though. This just trended straight up. So you'd almost say that was easy to trade. It is. It was easy to trade. But then this is more like what the consolidation is. This is a trend. And now that we've broken the ATR, this is very interesting to see. I'm not going to keep it here, but I'm looking for it to get to 316 before I get out, guys. That's what I'm going to go for. How's everybody doing there? I'm going to hold out. I've got a big cushion here. So let's get it up in this channel, 316 and beyond. Let's get up to the Fibonacci in level 1, because if it doesn't pull back, be back into the ATR, and hopefully I finished explaining, usually the escalator strategy will go up. Once it breaks it, it pulls back and then tests it. And if it tests it and doesn't go through, it shoots to the moon on this kind of a look. So that nothing's every time, but a lot of times. So that's why we call it the escalator. We maybe should call it the rocket strategy. I'm calling it the escalator because it's sort of stair steps up. It's not a straight thing like a momentum stock, but it's an escalator, especially on a 5-minute. You can just see like this is just a trend on the 5-minute. So you could say like, what's all the drama? I bought here, I'm trading on a 5-minute, and I'm going to sell up here. What is all this stuff you're doing? What is that stuff? So everybody trades a different way, and you can definitely trade the RV strategy on any chart time frame. Anything between 1 minute and 15 minutes, I would say. 1, 2, 3, 4 minute, 5 minute. People use all different types of charts, and it can be, if you're used to using that type of a I'm holding out, guys. It's okay. But if you're making little scalps in here, that's great. I'm kind of talking to everybody. So I get distracted, as you guys that watch me all the time know. It's hard to do everything at once. So what I did is I set in my mind what I'm looking for. I'm looking for 316. And then you're going to see me make a move, unless it breaks down here. If I see it break down here, I'm going to get out. Because it could come way down before it goes up, if it ever goes up at all again. Anyway, so yeah, there's all kinds of different time frames to trade. And, again, one of the videos I have that you should watch is how to predict the direction of the market. Again, it's predict on an average the steps that we go through every day to see what's the overall market going to move. And the way we do that, it's not because we trade the SPY, although a lot of people trade the Qs and the SPYs and, other EFTs and all kinds of stuff. But I mean, the reason we do it, EFT, ETFs, whatever. The reason we do it is to see what the stock that we're trading, the large caps that move the whole market, if we get stuck in a position. Like right now, if I'm going to hold longer and watch this go to like 200 red, 300 red, I'm going to want to know if the overall market's supposed to go up today. Although actually, when we get to the end of the day, you need to throw that stuff out. So let me be careful what I'm saying. In the morning, if you're holding and you think that the overall market is supposed to go up and you're holding one of the large caps, I would be more inclined to, go a little more red, thinking I'm going to rebound. I'm not doing it online with you guys. I add to my position a lot as it goes down. I don't take my full position. I add to it as it goes down. And you might think that's counterintuitive, but it's not. You get into a lower position and you stop yourself from missing the move entirely. You can't get the best position all the time. Now, you traders, there's a lot of you traders, and I don't mean to patronize you, that know that. But the beginners might not understand, well, why don't you just wait for it to be at the bottom? Because we don't know where the bottom is. Oh my God, wouldn't that be easy, right? So we get in when we think, hey, this might be its low point, but if it isn't, I can add to my position because I only took a quarter of my full position. So as it goes down, I can add, and it'll draw my price point down. It's like if I had bought it. So this is not good. I don't like seeing this go that red. But like say I bought it at this 55 and then it went down to 315 and then I doubled my share size. Now I have it at 315.25 or 26, 27. So now it doesn't take as much for it to go up and I have a larger share size. If it keeps going down, then I can double it again. Then I can go to 1,200 shares, right? Now you got to make sure you have the money to, set your share size and your trade plan accordingly. And I have a thing in the logbook, which is all over every video, if you want to get that it's suggested day plans, logging. But you can get it anyway. You should make a trading plan. So I'm getting ready to get out, guys, just because I have to go. So I was hoping that this would go up to 16, but if it doesn't move, it's just going to stay in this channel. It looks like. So Well, it's starting to go up now. Is it going to break this line finally? But anyway, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you subscribe and give us a thumbs up. There's a lot of live trading in the archives with large share size. So you might want to, okay, come on, break through that. So you might want to watch some of those. Or if you just, there's some with just 50 shares. I think there's some with even 25 shares. This RV strategy works really well. And we're just starting to show some of the others too. And then we're going to have a book that comes out that's going to show you in more. Whoa. Okay. There we go. Look at that. Almost hit 16. I'm not going to get too greedy here. I'm just going to take that. 933. So if you guys want to hold. I got to go. But that was out of nowhere. So that was good. I'm not sure what I got. I think I got it at 315.90 something. So be careful, though, because 316 could be well, there it goes through it. How many of you are still long? Everybody. Oh, no, 2 people got out with me. I'd be careful, maybe not going back in at this very moment. Look at the sellers at the top here, so be careful. Well, it sprang right down. Yeah, they sprang right down there. Buyers, but the sellers went up on that last volume, so watch it. Watch it close. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. Be careful out there, stay green, and make sure you trade in a simulator and get green before you just start doing stuff like this. It might seem very easy or it might seem ridiculously complicated to you. So there's videos in there to kind of take you on your journey, and we're going to keep making them, and we're not selling you any courses. Okay, this is just us talking to you, and hopefully you get something out of it. Okay, thanks for watching.